The B2S podcast is brought to you by Motivated Apparel. Motivated Apparel, the premier gear for motivation. A brand that motivates, inspires, and empowers you to stay motivated while chasing your dreams. Head on over to www.shiftmotivations.com/shop motivated apparel and grab yourself some motivated apparel today. Yo, what up, world? What it do? Hey, man, welcome to another episode of the Blueprint to Success podcast. Once again, I'm your host, Mike Mariner, a.k.a. the Shift Motivator, coming at you tonight, man. We coming with you live. We excited, man. We got a live one for you tonight, another fire episode. Man, I'm just glad to be here on tonight. We're glad to be here on tonight. Glad you're joining us. And with that said, no further ado, man, y'all welcome my co-host, my brother from another mother, Alxndr Hall. Yeah.
Straight from the house like that.
Straight from the house like that. I'm still waiting on that t-shirt, dog.
From the look, man, there's a lot of stuff going on.
Straight from the house.
I'm straight from the workhouse today. For real, but I'm glad to be here though, man. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
Gotta come. Gotta work, get off work, come straight here. You know how it go. Let's get it.
Hey, the grind don't stop, right?
It don't stop. And they don't care what you got going on either.
Right.
I know. Just life be life.
That's it. Life be life.
Let's go.
Yeah, man. We're going to get it in tonight, man. Once again, I want y'all to give it up, man, for my other co-host, man, my brother from the same mother. Y'all give it up for Boy Wonda. Hit it.
Baby.
Big bag.
Oh. Big bag with the big handle. Oh, baby. What's good? What's happening?
What it do, brother?
What's happening, family? Oh, it's good. Bro, I got an idea for your straight coming from the house.
Uh-oh.
Hey, let's run it.
Yeah. I talk with you off camera.
Off camera.
Yeah, we'll talk. I was like, man, dog, it's crazy. It's like
You gotta put more neck in the biggie. You gotta put
baby. Like that. You see how I shrunk my shoulders? Like that.
Y'all cutting up already. We ain't even got started yet.
what's happening, people? Yo, it's good, man. This has been a blessed week. It's been a great week. So this is like, and then when we fellowship, we just feed off each other's energy. So
for sure.
it just even increase and amp it up more on the podcast. So we just doing what we already was doing. We just cut the recording button on. That's it.
That's it,
Welcome to our house.
Here we are.
Conversations of the couch.
Yeah.
Honestly, this stuff happened on your couch.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
We be like, yeah, we need to do a podcast. But I'll hear y'all in God's time, man. And amen. And y'all stay tuned too, man. Soon, not tonight, but we're gonna be releasing some great news. We got some good stuff to share with y'all, man, concerning the podcast. So God is expanding our territory.
Yeah.
Praise Him.
Go crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
I feel good, man. I told you, man, I don't care how bad my week is going or how good my week is going. It gets better when we get together and record.
Yeah, for sure, yeah.
Just different energy, dog.
Yeah.
That's that fuel, man. They give you that second wind that's needed.
Yeah.
You been going into the week. You be like, look here, I'm flipping in. So,
man.
the feeling's mutual though. And I think it's really therapeutic for us in general, just to be poured back into. A lot of us don't have a lot of outlets, or people we may be close enough to be able to allow them to pour into us, or be able to even cross paths to even be poured into. So, because we pour out a lot, we do.
Oh yeah.
And so
all three of us is busy.
I'm trying to tell you, but it's just like, how you say, if you can't get a pat on the back from someone, pat your own back and be like, you got to draw it from the inside. Like, thank you, Lord.
From the inside out.
From the inside out. So,
yeah, that's what's up, man. Everybody having a good week this week? Everybody good?
Yo, week was good, man. I had a
Look at see.
87 teeth. Hey, man, we finna trademark that. 87 teeth.
oh my
Yeah.
god.
Well, that's
meaning
smile
behind
covering
that.
the whole face, dog.
The whole time.
I was like,
Since we walked in this building. The whole time.
That's
bro, in
just
a good place, man. He deserved.
He do, man.
that's just the joy of the Lord that I'm smiling like that, man.
Yeah.
And some other stuff. But
Step into the joy
Of course, he added too. Amen.
yeah. But my week, y'all crazy. They be trying to air your boy out,
got
man.
you smiling, dog. Got you smiling, dog.
We happy
Oh
for you,
my
though, big
gosh,
dog.
y'all
I
crazy.
know she
happy.
listening, dog. Hey, shout out to you.
Hey, you a real one for real.
Oh my god.
You the real MVP.
Oh, boy, this. See.
Big.
Hey, y'all, see.
Big bad. Welcome with the big
We just happy
swag.
for you, dog.
This-
For real.
We celebrate you, bro.
Oh my.
We celebrate you.
Look, this happens when you got homies. This is the stuff that happens. So,
Congratulations.
if you don't want no real friends, then they don't. But
Listen.
yeah,
They don't celebrate you. Then kick them out.
for real. But my week been it was good though. It was good on a lot of different levels. Like
Yeah.
I did so I'm gonna say it this way. I went on a fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
I did a fast, and it was extremely good.
Man.
Like extremely good.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people don't like going on fast because you have to do without stuff. You know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
bro. So it was, even though it was like 3.5 days, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just did water and bare minimum fruit.
Mm-hmm.
So I ate like 2 oranges and like a can of sliced pineapples.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Throughout the whole, but mostly I was just trying to do nothing.
Right.
So the first day, for like mostly all the day, I ain't even drink no water, just dry. And then towards the end of the day, I ate some pineapples and drank some water. And that was it. So by the time you wake up, that's burnt off. That's gone.
Right.
Yep.
So you wake up, you feel in your head, your stomach is everything tight, and it feels comfortably uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about.
You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
But other than that, no Facebook, no Instagram. I ain't got Twitter. I ain't got TikTok. No laptop. No beats. No lo-fi. No trying to rap. No trying to work on no designs. No book. No extra curricular activities. No extracurricular conversations. You know what I'm saying?
You shut everything out.
Everything was shut out.
Yeah.
Me and Mama, we didn't talk because she went on the fast too.
That's what's up.
Yeah, so both of us fasted. She was like, "Yo, I need some clarification and see what's up." So let's
Exactly.
run it. So both of us went to fast together. So she and we basically, unless it was divinely interrupted, I'll put it that way.
Yeah.
Then the conversation we went cross paths. Other than that, we didn't speak.
Yeah.
So at work, if I didn't have to speak to you, then I wouldn't. So if I know normally me and you chop it up and I see you down the hall, I'm going the other way.
Right.
So like
Yeah, you really shut down.
I shut down.
Yeah.
That's good.
I shut down.
It's needed though.
It's needed, and it lets me know that I didn't know that I was living so noisy.
Yeah, because that's especially in the day's time, because everything is all about the grind and the hustle and bustle, trying to get the bag, getting it, just everything is just constantly moving, and it's also moving at such a fast rate that it's like it's like a gravitational pull. You know what I'm saying?
And it seems like it's regular everyday life.
Every day, yeah.
Every day.
And it's not and
it's not healthy.
it's not normal.
Yeah.
It's not normal. We made that the normal, but it's not. That's not the norm.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about, bro. I was reading at work. I said, you know what? I brought my Bible to work. I brought my journal to work. Anybody, y'all, please get a journal.
Mm-hmm.
Please write down your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
It's very therapeutic.
You know what I'm saying?
It's really good.
If you got if you a wife and you got a husband, or if you a girl and you got a fiance, you want to cuss him out, go cuss him out in your book first.
And he did.
You know what I'm saying?
And he got me. And oh Lord, he really.
You know what I'm saying? Cuss him out in your book first to let it out, so you can read that. So once it's out, you can adjust properly. Because once you hit that man's ears, it's doing damage. You know what I'm saying?
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier.
Bless somebody in your journal.
Yeah, cuss him out in your journal. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. And he ain't do it.
Straight like that.
And he still didn't wash the tub out. Still cuss him out in the journal. You know what I'm saying? It's bro, I'm telling you, it works. Like,
That part.
you know what I'm saying? So I brought my journal, I had my Bible, and I had I don't know if y'all do, but it's this stuff on YouTube that I listen to. It's called worship instrumental. It's just like soft.
Yeah, I do the same.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
So
Cut from the same cloth.
Put that thing on and just let it ride.
I let it ride. And like 3 or 4 hours.
Yep.
So when I put it on, bro, I noticed that normally I would have it kind of loud and I'd be praying, but I put out the same volume and it was too loud. Even the soft, it's like God, it's like, yo, you can't turn up my presence. I have to turn that up myself.
Right.
Like you can't fabricate my presence with things that help you get into my presence. No, only I can make the presence.
Talk.
So turn that crap down. So you can hear nothing, which leaves room so you can hear me. Because once you hear stuff, you feel stuff. So you think you're feeling me, but you're feeling all the stuff that you're using so you can get brought into my presence. No, turn that stuff down.
Emotionalism. It's your emotions running at a certain place.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what like what people don't understand, the significance about the whole thing about how Lucifer was kicked out of heaven, like and how influential music is.
Right.
Like people don't make that connection. Oh, I'm just listening to beats. Oh, I'm just no.
No,
there's an emotional connect that comes when you listening to stuff.
It's called the doctrine. It's called the doctrine of ethos. Basically, what that states is that a musician should be. Now, y'all don't come from my head. I'm just saying. But from what I studied about it, coming from the house, what I studied about it is basically saying that a musician should be able to play certain stuff to make you feel a certain type of way. You can be happy as a mug. And somebody can play something sad and you will feel something sad. You will feel what he's playing. So when I was jamming that, I turned it down and then that got me where I need to be at. So I didn't know that I was living so noisy, and I had to like extract some of that stuff out. And to this day, right now, even after the fast, it's still certain people who I haven't reached out to yet, just because the things that I would do with them, it's a part of the noise. It's positive, but it's part of the noise. So God was like, no, you still have to reach out to them now because y'all still got stuff to do. But now, since you understand why you're doing this and how much. And so I was asking God, do you even want me to rap anymore? What you want me to do? What is the purpose for me and her? What's the vision for us?
Right.
Like what's the goal? Like what's the mission for us? Like what you want me to do with my life? Like what you want me to do? Like you give me what you want me to do.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, you know what I'm saying? But you can't heal or feel anything.
Go ahead,
bro.
dog.
Come from the house, dog, because the blinds and the windows open.
Don't kick the door.
Bro, and then, bro, what you hear and what you see, bro. God speak to you in different ways in different seasons.
Yeah. Yeah. It's according to what's being revealed for you at that time, and the fact that you felt the need to go on that, and that's what we need to do as mankind, as human beings, like, because you got to take a look at your cell phone. Like, we use these cell phones like 24/7.
A lot.
Right. But if you were to keep your phone plugged up into the socket all the time, it's gonna mess your battery up, and it eventually could mess your phone up because of how everything is connected. So you have to know when to plug in, and then you have to know when to plug it out. And so when you're talking about like going on that fast, I think that's something that should be. I mean, it's funny because me and my wife, we went on one, because normally a lot of times churches do the Daniel fast at the beginning of the year.
Right.
So, but one thing I love what our pastor, what he does is, we've done it, but then he kind of pulled back on it because he just didn't feel led to. So he said, I don't want to get stuck into the routine and the root of doing something because that's just what, you do. So if I feel led to do a fast, we'll call a fast. And so at the time, my wife and I, we was talking about that. We had kind of got off of that because we was fasting. I used to fast at least once a week, like consistently.
That's why I'm gonna have to start back.
Yeah, and then just kind of got away from it. And then me and the wife who was talking. At the time, Pastor had called. Actually, the time that Pastor called for the fast, we was already talking about going on the fast. And even though at that point in time we didn't get the quote unquote per se instruction or direction we was actually looking for at that time, but it brought such a peace and a clarity that was unexplainable. It was like a clear clarity that wasn't, if this makes sense, it was like a clear clarity that really wasn't like I didn't have the clear direction, but I just felt clear.
That makes perfect sense.
It makes sense. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, it's man, we got to defrag, man. You got, especially like, you got single mothers, single parents, single fathers out there. You know what I'm saying? And families trying to make it, the hustle and bustle, especially with inflation where it's at an all-time high. Layoffs are happening by the droves right now, and they're still laying thousands and thousands of people off. So it's a lot going on in the world, and we have to find that time and that space to actually defrag. I think, Dub, you said to detach.
Yep.
We have to detach
yeah.
from the world. You know what I'm saying? Get that place of serenity and things of that nature. Because, I mean, everything is pulling on you. Your kids are pulling on you. Your spouse is pulling on you. Your girlfriend, your boyfriend is pulling on you. Your job is pulling on you. Your business is pulling on you. You are pulling on you because you're trying to reach goals.
Trying to hang on.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like you have to, if you don't set the time to detach from the world, you're going to lose yourself in the world.
Bro, and then check this out, Doug. I know you're going to feel my this right here, too.
Oh, man. Come on.
Bro.
Yeah.
And then after I detached from all that stuff, right? It's like myself asking myself, how do you feel without that? Like, how do you feel without having to go on Facebook? Do you feel like you need to? Do you feel like if you never had to go on Facebook to make a post again, how would you feel?
Right.
If you never had to upload on Instagram again for any type of validation, how would you feel?
I feel you, because the only reason
hold on. If you can make a living, be successful, lead your wife, raise your family, be prominent in the church, help save souls, without your face ever being on social media, would you be okay?
Yeah, that's the
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you don't. The only reason I'm on social media is because of the rat race, really. I mean, like when you're trying to do business, like, what's the first thing they're gonna do? They're gonna look you up on social media.
Yo, what's your Facebook or whatever?
Yeah, that's the first thing they gonna look. So it becomes it almost become an unnecessary necessary, if that makes sense.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? Because honestly, the only reason, like, I tell people is, like, I say, honestly, I'm an introvert, and people look at me like I got 3 heads. I'm like, no, really, I'm an introvert. It's just this is the anointing that God has on my life. Like I was the most quiet kid growing up. I didn't get into stuff. I mean, I wasn't perfect. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, if I didn't say nothing to you, I mean, if you didn't say nothing to me, I didn't say nothing. That's like, and to be speaking in front of people like I am is crazy. So the only reason, honestly, I got on social media was for networking, business purposes, and positive impact. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, I even looked at possibly, hiring somebody to run my social media's account. Then I was like, well, for what? Not at this point.
Yeah.
Maybe when I get to the next level that I'm looking for, I may, do that. But it's like at this point, what's the purpose? You know what I'm saying? So it's just like a little extra time to take care of it. But at the end of the day, if I didn't have to be on there, and the reason I say have to because it draws people into your world. Hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. You know what I'm saying? This is what's going on, and then that way that gives room for people to search your services out, whatever you provide or whatever that is. That's it. If it weren't for that, dog, I wouldn't even be on now.
Yeah, no, I dig it. I'm just saying that when you detach, it's like, do I really need to? You know what I'm saying? Like you feel like, bro, that just cut all that stuff out, bro. I was walking in the hallway at work and I saw a group of ladies. They were just, hey, how you doing, girl? And bro. And by this time, I was completely empty full of you. That making type of sense. You know what I'm saying? I just felt that energy of them talking and hugging. And I know y'all don't hug and talk outside of work. And then y'all hugging and talking and work like y'all best friends. And I felt whatever that was. I was like, I ain't even going down there, bro. Like I was that. I'm a look bandwidth. If that junk was like strong, bro, I was like, you know what? I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk to nobody right now.
Yeah.
I don't talk to nobody. I don't want to hear no TV. I don't want to hear no dogs barking. I don't want to eat dinner with nobody. I made sure by 8 before I got to the house so I can go straight to the room, bro. Everything was cut off on whatever. You know what I'm saying? I had to call my son afterwards.
Yeah.
You feel me? Just to make sure he was straight.
Yeah.
But I had to detach, like you said, like completely detach, bro. I don't. Right now. I'm be real with you. I don't care about no beach right now. That stuff is like slowly got like, okay, Monday you need to call Diamond.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. But he bringing it back. But he's like refocusing what I need to be focused on and trying to show me without me trying to listen. You know what I'm saying? Like without me digging too deep.
Yeah, and that goes back to what they didn't hear was a lot of the conversation that we had before we actually started, and that goes back to Pastor Lynn said something that was so powerful to me, and I think I shared with it when we first started on one of the early podcast shows, and a lot of us are trying to find purpose. She said, you can't find purpose. She said, how can you look for something or find something that's already in you? She said, ask God to reveal it to you. And when she said that, I was like, wow, that is so profound. Like, how can you look for something that's already in front of your face? So purpose is in each and every one of us. We just gotta, it's like terminology, like when I was studying grants, right?
Yeah.
It's like I can submit for a grant proposal for a community development project, but if it's not worded properly, it's gonna get denied. Now, I can say, let's just say, I want to create a community center for after school program for the kids, and then I want a gymnasium for sports and stuff like that, blah, blah, blah. I can't just say that. It has to be doctored up in such a profound, prolific language to where whoever's on the other end of that grant is like, okay, that's approved. I can't just say I want to help underprivileged kids. Blah, 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 blah. No, it has to be this big, like I got a PhD degree type. This is some of the things I've experienced, like, you know what I'm saying? And so it's kind of like that it's like that same thing. It's like, it's already in you. So it's like, ask God to reveal what is in you. And so what happens is, a lot of time God clarifies things by things that are already in us. It's just like you said, you had to refocus, but you're still using the same gifts. You're still doing the same thing. He said, hey, call Diamond. So he's rerouting you right back to music. So what happens is we get cluttered by the noise of the world, and it confuses us to a point to where am I going in the right direction? And then it's like maybe I need to detach. And instead of that, we just keep going and we never detach.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So
What you got, Doug? I see you over there.
I was thinking when you was talking about even just based off what we was talking about detaching and really making you yourself like a priority, right? So I thought about a lawnmower. So when you think about a lawnmower, right, where you have to pump and prime in order for it when it gets cold, you have to pump and prime it to get it to start, right? So let's think about when the world kind of, you just got the weight of the world on your shoulders. You can pull this way, you can pull that way. So you kind of sitting idle, and you kind of cold in a sense, because it's just like you haven't been feeding your spirit, man. You haven't been seeking God on direction, clarity, vision, whatever it is, even on behalf of you. And I even had to take a step back. I was like, okay, this is getting overwhelming. Let me just detach, and I'll be to myself for a little minute. So when you think about a lawnmower, right, starting at stone cold, you have trouble starting it. Well, the reason for this is that when the mower sits unused for a while, the fuel in the carburetor evaporates. So by priming the carburetor, you will inject some fuel into its float boat, which should allow you to start the engine. So in order for you to get that clarity, in order for you to be able to get your engine revved up and pumped and primed, like, you have to detach, because the word of God, that's getting your spirit man filled. So the more you feed him, the more you seek God, the more you pray, the more you reflect, the more you really focus on what you have to do, you'll start again. And then dang, like you say, oh my God, I see so much clear. Like, and even when you say, even though I didn't somewhat get clarity, like as far as guidance or direction, but in a sense you did, because it's prepped you for that. So you kept prepping, you kept priming, you kept being to yourself. It's like, okay, cool. Like, we got to get this, keep revving going, because it just don't start there. Because if you just start, stop, you're gonna go through the same cycle over and over. So you have to keep going. You have to keep moving, like, and you have to make yourself a priority.
Right.
You have to, because man, the pressures that the world, outside world, put on us as what they expect us to be. If you're not this, I don't want to mess with you because you're that. Or if you don't have something brought to the table, and I understand that. But if a person's never been taught how to bring something to the table, you know what I'm saying? So it's so much, bro. And then when I think about how at peace you are, it's a peace that's unexplainable. It's a peace you just want to live in forever. It feels so good, because it gets you to a place like, wow, I can think now. And you don't even realize that you're subconsciously allowing yourself to settle for what's going on around you. And it becomes part of your routine subconsciously. And you don't even realize it, because you can't even see where it's coming from, because you're getting hit from here.
Right. That's
So
good.
it's like I thought about, it's while you was talking, I was just like, so I was kind of la, because the Lord was like downloading about the lawnmower. I was like, pump and prime. Okay, I see where you're going. All right, let me look this up real quick. But and it's based off also a push lawnmower, so a craftsman lawnmower. So you think about push. Sometimes you have to push and get to a place where, hey, look, I'm fitted. I ain't gonna be available this weekend, or I'm not gonna be available today. If it's an emergency, hit my line. If it's not, I gotta focus. I gotta reshape. I gotta refocus, and I gotta revisit, and I gotta revision. That means you gotta tweak whatever God have on the inside of you, because you can't know what you have on the inside of you if you're not willing to look what's on the inside of you.
Bro, I got this whiteboard in the room. This big whiteboard. It got so much stuff in there. I'm finna erase all that crap, bro.
Bro, remember when we was talking a while back, right? See, he done hit him in the sun. And remember when I was telling you, like, my home, if you see what my home is like, you'll know what my life is like.
Yeah.
And I remember it hit me like a ton of bricks. The Holy Spirit revealed to me, just seeing how everything was everywhere, things was cluttered. And I'm not really a messy person, but it just, sometimes you have your days, you're tired.
Movement.
And it really opened my eyes to be like, he showed me, like, okay, well, this is what your life is like. So you got to clean this up over here. You got to clean this up over here. And it's like, so I make sure I'm adamant about keeping my house clean. And so making sure I do it throughout the week. So when the weekend come, I'm straight. I can kind of relax, reflect. And it's nothing like being able to reposition yourself in a clean house. It's just, it hits different.
Yeah. And subconsciously it makes your mind clear too. It
Yeah.
makes you think clearly.
Yeah.
But that's one thing that's funny you say that. Cause that's one thing I actually did do. I cleaned my room. That was cause my room. You've been in my room. You know, I don't like nothing like the dogs come in the room and they start tiptoeing because they already know. Like,
hey, yo, Fred. Yeah, know. You know what it is.
One the dog Hercules.
Yeah,
the real small one. Hercules. He don't even walk in the room. He just look. He go to the edge of the door and just look. He already know.
Just like that. He like, can I come in, boss?
Look, he stopped.
Is the coast clear?
The door frame right here.
Is it safe?
Right here, he said. I'm like, come on, man. Come on, real quick. Come on, man.
Since you invited me in, okay.
But that's one thing I did because I don't like nothing. I can't think. I cannot think if the room is jacked up.
Yeah. I'm like that.
I just can't.
Yeah,
think.
it just mess with your psyche.
I can't
it
think.
Does, and and it shows you how much work you have to do. Yeah. And it gets you to a point where it's like, dog, I didn't even know my life was like this.
Right.
At least this is the first step to acknowledging and realizing how your life was kind of out of control, and just bond like, okay, let me get myself together.
Yeah.
Watch this, dry that, fold this, hang that. Let me make sure everything's clear in the room, bookshelf, with my books, make sure they lined up straight. Like, I got to do it. I'm doing another one. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, man, it's just like, and then every time I come home, bro, it's just like I'm so at peace.
Right.
It's a peace that you can't explain. So try it at home, y'all. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
Just start there. Just start with your room. I know it's hard when it comes to a whole house and, everybody's, home is different, but just start in your room. And then, like, I made my closet kind of like my sanctuary. Just my alone time with God. And I make sure that's A1. So, and it makes a huge difference, man. Yeah. It's light. It's freedom. It's just like, okay, you feel like you're getting your life back.
Yeah.
You just feel like you're on top of things.
Yeah. I mean, you gotta look at it, bro. We're in the second quarter of the year that just came in.
Mm-hmm. Almost at the 6-month mark.
Hold on. I'm finna.
Go ahead.
Uh-oh.
All right. I'm finna.
Uh-oh.
He coming straight from the house.
Straight from the house.
Hey, I locked the door, but he climbing out the window.
He sound like he coming from the back porch.
Look,
for real.
But look, check this out though. What year you looking at? Look, when you looking at time? You looking at time or time? Look.
Come from the house, dog.
Come from the house, but look.
Let them know.
I was like, okay, I turned 36 on April the 18th. But the year started January 1st. So 12, I'm looking at bump from everybody else is looking at, from January, no, bump that. From April 18th to April 18th. How was I moving from this year? Cause that's let's, Lord forbid, you pass or whatever, but my year, I was born on April 18th. So from the day I was born, from the next day I was born, that's what count for me.
Right.
That's because when next April 18th come, I'm gonna be 37.
Yeah, right.
When January 1st come, 2024, I'm gonna be 36. No. I still got 3 months left in my year. So it's like, whose time am I clocking?
Exactly.
Am I comparing my time to everybody else's time, or am I comparing my time to, okay, when I got my alignment, April 18th, I'm seeking God. My assignment came a couple weeks later. How did I move from April 18th when I turned 36 to when I turned 37?
Yep.
So therefore, I'm not comparing myself to nobody. I'm not competing with nobody but me and what I said I was gonna do and how I moved from these 12 months. That's why I say, whose time are we looking at? You know what I'm saying?
But that's based on the individual. See, that's what you do.
Yep.
Everybody else may do from January to January.
True, yeah.
So you have to, which is kind of like where I was going. You have to kind of assess where you are, what you're going, what your purpose is during that time frame. So, and what I was saying is, while we're already into the second quarter, I had to stop and pause because time was moving so fast to figure out and look at, okay, where am I at with what I felt God wanted me to do or accomplish this year, and even in the first 3 months. Because see, what happens is, there's an old saying, you can't be so spiritually minded to where you're no earthly good, and you can't be no earthly minded to where you're no spiritual good. So you have to kind of bring that balance. So, and what happens in the faith world a lot is because we depend on our faith so much that we don't actually plan nothing. And so you can't get caught up in the planning because, if you're a faith-based person, then it is what it is. Right. However, faith without works is dead. So if I continue to just say, well, I'm going to do this, let's say if I put an expiration date on it, it say I want to accomplish XYZ by January 31st, where if it doesn't happen by XYZ, if XYZ don't happen by January 31st, am I still going to be okay with that?
Right.
Because it's still a part because if it's a part of your purpose and plan, it's still a part of your purpose and plan. You the one that put the date on it, which is fine because that's how, what they say, a goal without a date is just a wish.
Yeah.
That's true. You know what I'm saying? Of course, faith-based people, there's no time in God. But I know that if I don't set a time on this date, listen, how many times have wives gotten on the husbands because they needed the project done and the project never got done? You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't no like, babe, okay, babe, we got our friends coming over next weekend, so can you at least have XYZ done before next Friday? Versus, babe, hey, you gonna take care of that? And then you never tell them, well, babe, we got so and so them coming in next week. See, there was no expiration date, so babe just chilling. So that's what we do because we don't set nothing, we just chill. So but you still have to activate the faith, even for that to happen at the date that you want it to happen.
Exactly.
So, but if it don't happen on that date, but still, are you still okay with it? Because it still fits into the mold of your plan and your purpose. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And it's still progress.
Yeah. So you have to go by the date as far as how you move. Because like honestly, like what you just said, that's some next level stuff. Because I ain't never heard that. I promise you, that's the first time I ever heard somebody. I move by my calendar birthday. I don't move by my yearly calendar.
Because I was thinking like
that's dope though.
Yeah,
that's dope.
Like that came from when I was on the fast bro. Like like who time are you on? Like God, like who time are you on? Like you know what I'm saying? Like cause bro, one thing when I stopped looking at Instagram, I started to Instagram. Yo, we have to be really careful about watching other people's lives. That's all I gotta say, bro. Because I'm gonna just say, and I don't know if y'all felt this way, and I mean, I feel, I don't know why I'm finna say this, but I'm finna say it. Maybe to help somebody, I don't know. I just feel better about the plans that God has for me. For me not watching Instagram and seeing what everybody else is doing. Like I have more expectation because God like, yo, you look, when you see something, if you're on the street corner and you see two cars about to hit, in your mind, you instantly hear the impact. Right? If you 4 blocks away and you hear the first thing your brain does, you can see the impact. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So like with me not seeing what's going on in other people's lives, like it's like I can hear God like whispering to me about my future and the promises He got for myself and my family. You know what I'm saying? And the more that I see the Word of God, read it and feel it, you know what I'm saying? It's like I can hear it coming to pass. I can hear the conversations who I'm gonna have with the people when I'm in that place. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
And that's really good because even like when I was in the process of doing my album and project, I didn't listen to nobody. I didn't tune in. I didn't see what was the latest thing out. Because it helps you not try to follow the trend. It also makes you comfortable in your own skin, and it makes you confident in what you're creating. Because if you're not careful, you'll start getting away from the creative process of where God is taking you and trying to go. And I adapted that into my personal life to where, okay, I got to kind of, you know what I'm saying? Because it's, bro, I think that place in my life was more of the more freeing space, just being able to be vulnerable with what's going on, just sit with what's going on, reflect, think, how can I come up with solutions, ideas, and because your art is a reflection of your life. And I feel like art can be art to a certain extent, but it's really a reflection of your life and where you at. So when you think about people in their music, in their soundtrack, and you applying that to your life, you ain't shooting, killing, murdering, stabbing nobody. But this is what we put in our spirit. And man, I had came across a clip. Nipsey said something that was so powerful. He said, man, the B2S podcast is brought to you by No Grind, No Glory Apparel, R828 edition. It's a reminder to stay strong, to be courageous, to stop your fears, and to feed your faith. Even when it feels like everything is falling apart, just know that you were born to stand out and make an impact. Head over exclusively to www.nogrindnoglory.net and grab you some merch as a daily reminder that all things work together. If you listen to the music, it's really spiritual. Because think about what that person is doing or reflecting and how they're coming off and putting that into your system. And it's like it's kind of like a drain. You just put a lot of toilet tissue in and it's get clogged up. And it can't. Bro, it's like this stuff here, dog.
I ain't finna go there, but
bro. It's bro. I promise you, and I remember, bro, like secular music was like one of the hardest things.
Why you laughing like
that?
Hey, like say garbage when I say it garbage.
Trash. Don't put in the trash. Take out the trash.
You say it was hard to get rid of?
It was hard to detach, bro, because there was a spiritual thing behind that, and that was something that's so real. So he was saying how I'll paraphrase. He's like, you're listening to something to a place that they gone but came back and brought into the present, in a sense of because it's spiritual. So I have to go and get the clip, but just to paraphrase it, man, it was just like it is really spiritual because it's just like look at the moods change. Look at how, man. If I'm playing something that got me crunk, I'm going probably about 70, 75 on the highway. Right. Bro, music have that impact. It's one of the largest impact, hip hop, one of the largest impacts. So it's just like you have to detach from a lot of things, bro. But because if you clutter with that, it's hard to even know where you're going with your life. Yeah. Like, and even with Instagram, man, I post, I get off. Facebook, I post, I get off. I may scroll just to, see what my partner's doing, but if I didn't have a business or in the music industry like that, bro, I wouldn't be on Facebook and none of that. Because it's just like you see the same thing over and over and you get tired of it. Like you're looking for something refreshing, something that just, I can breathe, man. Like this is good. You know what I'm saying? So I've been tuning out a lot and I just been listening to a lot of podcasts that I feel like that is kind of shaping my guidance and direction in life into what God is molding me, and I can hear him clearly through these podcasts, bro. Like through the podcast, through different artists. I don't indulge in it a lot, but I've been more so on the podcast tip, just feed my spirit. You know what I'm saying? That's just where I'm where I'm at right now in my life. Like I'm hungry for knowledge. I'm hungry for thirst. Like I'm thirsty for just different things in my life to shift my life. Yeah, because I have to have change, dog. Bro. I need change. Like bad as I want to breathe. And it's refreshing, dog. Like even just being able to be me, bro. Yeah. Like ain't no expectation of I got to put out this kind of record. Like it was just such a freeing space and time that I've adapted personally. And I still use it. So it's important to equip yourself with what you're learning, the right thing that's going to catapult you and figure out, okay, What am I good at? What's my gift? What can I cultivate? Right. How can I listen to, like, even just listening to y'all, man? Like, I listen. I'm a sponge.
Yeah.
I just
we
sit
all
back.
are. We just sit there.
But you know what? And see, it's one thing. It's an awesome place. It's an awesome place to be at when you know you have to detach.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But let me tell you what's the hardest thing, though. I think the hardest thing is to, once you finally get to the place where you detach. The hardest thing is to not go and attach yourself to what you think you should attach yourself to. The hardest thing is to sit and be led to what you need to attach yourself to.
Yeah.
Because once you detach, you have to fill that hole up. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one thing to let something go, but if you don't replace that with something good, then you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. What was the purpose?
Like, what was so you almost do yourself more. Yeah, you stopped doing this, but you didn't fill this hole with something that was solid, so you won't. So that won't never get back up in here.
Exactly.
So it's like finding. It's like listening and like, okay, after I let this go, God, where do I go next? Like, what do I latch on to?
Yeah.
Like, what's gonna give me strength? Like, what's gonna give me wisdom? You know what I'm saying? Like, so detaching is one thing, but knowing what to attach yourself to after you detach, that's what's gonna bring the transformation in.
Yeah. What you got, broski?
Yeah, and that actually, that's gonna come into from you searching, spiritually, mentally, and physically, because check this out, right? I looked up refocus.
Yeah, for sure. Yep.
So when we was talking about that, you said my realignment and everything, and everything. It's because it's like how can we want clarity, but we keep having these noisy experiences that we keep just falling into by not making certain adjustments.
Right.
Like like I had one of the kids. He may be listening to the podcast, but I had one of the kids hit me up. He was like, man, spring starts next week, so they've been doing weight training, conditioning, different things of that nature. So spring actually starts next week, and so he's like, man, I'm snapping and I'm angry, I'm
moody.
I'm just dealing with this.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying, because he's trying to be the best he can be, trying to do these things, but then he's getting frustrated and then don't know how to deal with his emotions. And in order for him to deal with his emotions, what he's doing, he's getting angry and he's snapping. He said, and the fact they actually hit me up to ask how to deal with that, I thought that was big in itself.
Yeah.
And so I ain't gonna mention the artist's name, but he loves listening to this one artist. I'm like, dude, ain't nothing good about that dude's music. Like, and so I sent him a bunch of stuff. I sent him a bunch of stuff to kind of listen to. And so I say, bro, listen, I say, one of the things I put in the text, I say, I hate to keep beating the dead horse. I say, but I know your favorite artist is blah, 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 blah. I said, there's nothing good about his music. I say, so if you're dealing with anger issues, why are you going to listen to music that makes you feel angry? You got to declutter from that. You got to shift. You got to change. So you're having noisy experiences because you keep putting yourself in noisy places. You know what I'm saying? I want clarity. Well, how you gonna get clarity? You listen to shoot, kill, murder every day.
Yep.
Ain't no clarity gonna come behind that. I don't care who you is.
Not at all.
You know what I'm saying? You're not putting nothing in your spirit to combat that. So you're frustrated and it's gonna come out of anger because that's all you keep filling yourself up with noise. So I sent him a bunch of stuff and he was like, you know what? He said, man, preach, thanks, man. He said, I really needed that. I appreciate it. Boom. Like, yeah, you have to declutter. You have to detach, right? So it's talking about, and I know you got something because I see you out the corner of my eye. Let me get this out real quick.
Because, bro, I got a question from a personal point of view right here.
Okay.
All right, let me go and get this out.
Get it out. I'm patient.
Because like here's what we want y'all to understand. What I want y'all to understand is, in order for purpose to be birthed, right, you have to go through the birthing process. And I'm going to share something, but that's why when you said, oh, he got something. And that's what made me look this up. So I'm going to share that, and I'm going to
Do it.
Shift the baton.
Do what you do.
So, right. So it's just like you went on the fast because you're trying to birth something.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We go on sabbaticals because we're trying to burst something. We're trying to get that extra to push out what it is we're trying to push out. Right?
Yes.
So when you talk about refocus, says attention on yourself through, and you hit this when we was talking about prior to the camera.
Right.
Through repeating your main points.
Right.
Refocus it. You may not be doing nothing different, or you may be doing something totally different, but either way you still got to focus on the main point and what the purpose is. So if you're trying to declutter, the main purpose is, if your life is full of noise right now, your main purpose is to declutter that noise.
Yeah.
And so how am I going to do that? Then you have to detach from, you may even have to send your child to a babysitter for a couple hours. You know what I'm saying? And be okay with that. And not thinking you're being a bad parent because you don't want to be bothered with your child right now. No.
Exactly.
You love your child, but in this moment, in this season right now, you need something for yourself.
Right.
So you can help that child.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And so what happens is, one of the parts when I was doing a message a while back, and I was doing some research about the birthing process. One of the main points about the birthing process is because when a woman goes through this process, it's so much going on with her body because there's a lot of things going to that baby that it shifts some things within her, right?
Yeah.
One of the things that it shifts is her vision and her eyesight. Because so much is going on, right?
Pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the kicker though. It said this right here. Okay, naturally a baby is 9 months, naturally. That's the natural state. It's supposed to go 9 months, right?
Right.
So your vision changes. But it is said, don't correct your vision until after you had a baby. You're pregnant, right? Your vision changes. But the doctor says, no. I don't recommend you getting glasses. I don't recommend you getting contacts. Let's wait till after the birthing process.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes
because
sense.
Exactly.
something has happened to alter your vision.
So the more you try to fix it in the wrong time, it's gonna happen again and again and again.
You see what I'm saying?
Sure.
You're when you allow your vision to be altered, right? When you allow your vision to be altered, the main point is still the main point. The main thing is to get this baby out.
Exactly.
The side effect is it affected your vision. But there's really nothing wrong with your vision. It's just because you're going through a period right now that altered your vision. So we have so much that alters our vision. Let's put it out there. What's our main vision? We want to be successful. The vision, whether you're a believer and you want success God's way, or whether you're a non-believer and you say, you know what, I just want success. I want to go out here and get it. It's still the same main focus. But what happens is there's an alteration that happens along the way. And instead of making the adjustment, we try to make the adjustment at the wrong time. The doctor's saying, no, just hold on, because what's going to happen is after you have this baby, the adjustment, your eyes should recalibrate. And now you're able to get your vision and your sight back.
And if we just listen, because you can do the wrong thing to even enhance the intensity of that vision or do something worse.
Exactly. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So when life is throwing all kind of stuff at us, and we have to be in a position to say, look at what is the main point? What is the main goal here? And if I need to detach myself from something, be okay with that and go on about your business.
Yep.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, when you are 6 feet deep in that grave, and let's call a spade, we all gonna walk that walk. When you sit 6 feet deep, are you gonna be satisfied when your number is called, feeling that you fulfilled everything or what you felt that you wanted to leave on this side of the heaven? Because that's the only thing, man. Did you pass on what you wanted to pass on to your children? Or did you let the noise of life not allow you to pass on certain knowledge to your kids that you should have passed on? but you didn't because you let life happen to you.
Dang.
And now you 6 feet deep, and mama didn't teach me this, or daddy didn't teach me this because life happened. Come on, people. Now got me fired up now.
For real.
Yeah.
No excuses.
You know what I'm saying? Pull back.
Exactly.
Pull back. You know what I'm saying? Get off social media. What do you want out of your life? What does God want for your life? What does God want for your kid? What is the legacy of your family? Can your family say, you know, man, E.T. said something so profound. Like, man, it's crazy. I think one of the many things, the reason why I resonate with their movement is because a lot of his heart's desire was my heart desire before I even listened to him. I want my kids to be able to benefit. Oh, your daddy was Mike Marano. Oh man, your dad was a great. Your granddad, your grandfather was Mike Marano. Hey, she don't. No, they don't need to pay for that. We got that bill. He was a great man. You're part of a great land. That's the stuff that I talked about before I even started listening to ET, bro.
And it's real. We're seeing it happen in our own lives.
You know
Your dad is such
your
and
dad
such?
is squeak your daddy.
Oh.
No, we got it. Don't worry about it. Here you go.
Tune changed all the way around 180.
But that stuff don't happen by coincidence. It happens based on intention. You gotta disconnect from the noise.
Yeah, you got to.
Where is your road leading you?
Jesus.
Not P. Diddy's road.
Yep.
Take
Not
that.
Beyonce's road.
Yep.
You understand?
Bro.
Not OBJ road.
Yep.
Not Lamar Jackson road. Where is your road taking you? Man, Lamar Jackson just signed the largest contract in NFL history.
I seen that today. Guaranteed 180.
I know you've been disconnected, but we ain't.
Yeah.
260 million.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was 260, right?
260, yep, 260, and I think it was 180 or 185 guaranteed.
Lamar Jackson, quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens. Kudos to him. He got his money.
Man, that guy is raw. I'm sorry, he raw. That guy he's raw, bro. He deserves every dollar he getting, bro.
Every dollar.
He raw, bro.
Speaking of that, let's look at that situation. If his camp would not have disconnected from everything that they needed to disconnect them from to keep themselves focused on the main thing, that man would not have gotten that contract.
Nope.
Because everybody was saying, man, you should have took the contract when they gave him, I think it was 100 and something guaranteed, and he turned it down. It was like 200 and something million total, I want to say, but it's in the low twos.
Yeah.
And then 100 and something guaranteed, like in the low hundreds and something guaranteed. He turned it down. Even I said he was crazy. Along with him.
He's like, no, I can get a little more.
You see what I'm saying? But that and
I can get a little more.
That fits right into what we're talking about because he didn't have an agent.
At all. They're going
His
all
mama. He gave that position to his mom. And mom did him well.
Listen, that's the best agent you could ever have.
But if they would not have disconnected from the world, what they would have, man, hey, son, I think we need to go ahead and take this, man, because the world like, man, y'all crazy, 100 and blah, 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 guaranteed. Man, you need to go and jump on that. But no, he was like, no, I'm worth more than that, dog. Y'all just paid so-and-so, and I know y'all just paid, because that's how he got to look, and it rightfully so. If I'm looking at you, and your team just paid you X amount of dollars, and I done outperformed you,
yeah.
but then I'm fighting with them to get what I got when they just paid this guy? No, dog, I'm finna sit this one out. They disconnected because guess if they would have stayed connected to the noise, they might have would have gave in to one of those lowest amount and missed out on what they got right now.
Yeah, because you have to, and this is another thing that I got from this fast too, and I'm gonna write to you because I know you still got what you got. You gotta disconnect and detach from what other people's wants and other people's visions that they got for you. Like detach from that. Like nah, I don't want that. Like detach from that.
Oh yeah.
Like I know you love me. I know you love me. I know you care about me, but I'm not just going to accept your version of my situation for me. No.
That's good.
I'm gonna play devil's advocate.
Here we go.
Tiptoe.
It's over 7 billion people in the world, baby. Ain't no cookie cutters right here. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. So what happens when? Let's look at it. Toby Nwigwe.
Who?
Toby Nwigwe.
Toby Nwigwe was a ball player.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
He would not be where he at today if CJ wouldn't have. No, dog, you need to be rapping.
Oh, you talking about Tobe?
Yeah.
No. I ain't talking about that.
I know you're not, but I'm bringing it out because what happens when it's just like
because you don't know.
Like when you want, because that's why what I want to love about it. We want to keep it. We want to hit
All
different
angles.
spaces.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Because what happens when you have and it happens, and then you got to know when to pull back. But what happens when you want more for somebody else than they want for themselves?
Yeah.
It kind of falls into that category. But then what came to my mind was Toby. I'm like, well, I get what you're saying, and that is correct. That's true. So let's talk to the people that may be a Toby out there.
Well, that's when, so like just coming from the house straight off the cuff, like off the fly, when it's something like that, that's when you have to detach so you can really go to God about it. But God, I didn't know I had this right here. Like, what do you think? Like, should I try it out? Like,
because the fruit gonna come.
Right. Detach the seed. You have to test it and see if that's where you need to go or not. But you would not know if you need to rap, even if you want to play ball, if you cloudy. If you're cloudy, you won't know. You won't get like a real answer. You won't get no clarity on what you think may have even happened. You know what I'm saying? So either way, you got to detach.
Yeah, because that's the only way you're going to be able to even be familiar with. Because, like, let's say, like, when CJ said, "Hey, bro, you need to rap," no, it ain't gonna hit him until he actually sit down, reflect, and be quiet in stillness.
Who's to say he did that?
I'm pretty sure he did.
Well, if you follow the story, I've been I was following Toby Nwigwe way before y'all. I've been following Toby since he first came out. I just didn't say nothing. I've been listening to Toby for years. I ain't heard nothing about that. I ain't saying that it don't exist, but the story that has came out was he was playing football. He thought he was going to go to the league.
Right.
I don't remember how he came into ET camp space, but CJ and they was trying to help him figure out his life, and then come to find out, I don't know if he was just freestyling just while they was in the car one day or something like, and CJ was like, dog, dude, like what's up? Like, no, dog, that's what you need to be doing. It ain't never said he went to go pray. It ain't never said that he went back. It was more like okay, well, shoot, at this point, let me try it out because I'm trying to figure out my life. See, so what happens is when you get to the point where this is it and that's it, it's never gonna be that. So I'm always gonna come from the other side because you got to look at, not everybody gonna believe the way you believe. Not everybody gonna serve the same God that you serve. So how do you reach those people? So to say that may be the majority, but then also we want to be able to touch somebody that may be listening to this. Somebody may come into their space and be like, bro, you fire, man. Why don't you try this right here? But then you like, if we say, well, it's only gonna happen this way if you do this, then you kind of like putting that label on them too. Toby's story, go listen to Toby. Toby ain't none of that. There's nothing in the L wave that says Toby took CJ's advice and ran with it. He didn't go pray about nothing. He didn't take no sabbatical. He didn't do none of that.
But look though, when you're doing something, I get what you're saying. This is really good. I'm going to say, check this out though. All right. Now, but let's say you don't go do that. You know what I'm saying? And let's say you do hop into the rap scene if you was a ball player. It's something about the piece of something. Just because you don't go pray don't mean you don't get Just because what God say what He do it. So if people be having the presence of God, don't even notice what it is. God be answering, don't even notice what it is. You know what I'm saying? So when you do start rapping and it start working, and you start getting the sense of feeling this is working, that's
that's what I'm saying. That's what I said. You're gonna see the fruit. That's what I'm saying.
The
fruit. So that's why it's because what happens is you're still dictating somebody else's life. You can't dictate my life if I'm not feeling a pull already there. Because if I'm pulling the full already there, then there's gonna be some fruit coming from behind that. So, and what I mean by that, it was already in it, but nobody pointed him in a direction that, hey, maybe you need to look more into that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like even
and it shows you the awareness that they had that he didn't have for himself in a sense.
Exactly.
Because that's the importance of having a circle that can help you think differently, but also can help you live differently. You know, you know what I'm saying? But think different, be different, live different.
That's what happens though.
That's what happens though.
That's the truth,
So I'm gonna wrap it up with this question, right? What if you're in a place to where you're in a place to where you can only get somewhat of a detachment, but can't fully get away. So, for example, like a job, and sometimes you just have to go. Like I'm gonna use myself for example. I'm to the point where I need a mental detachment. Like
Vacation time.
Yeah. It's that time. Yeah, because I notice myself really just I'll go somewhere quiet. This just me, because I have to like kind of block out what's going on. So how do you, even with PTO time, right? But you're still going back to that same place that brings that extra noise, and you're one of the ones that are most dependent upon. So how do you balance that and get to a place to where you can, I don't want to say function in chaos, but be able to kind of push through it without prematurely detaching from what's your main bread?
That's a good question.
So how do you? And again, I'm gonna use myself because I'm in this space. I like to be vulnerable with the people and what's going on in my life. So I'm to that point, bro. You're gonna get taxed.
Oh man, check this out, bro.
And you're gonna get taxed. You don't allow that tax to tax on your mental so much to where it costs you more than what you're willing to give. So with that question,
go ahead, bro.
Bro, nah, step it down, finna, because I felt, because I periodically feel that too, right? So when you like, yo, this right here is not cracking, and I went to God about it, right? And let me tell you just what He like dropped on me. I'm not saying, I'm finna say, I'm not saying this is not like
Yes, what he told you.
Yeah, He told me.
Right.
It's not told you this way, not towards you this way He told me.
Facts.
Right? You gotta say that type of stuff. Me, bro, so I know you gotta take that and say it.
Right. But just for people that don't know,
He dropped on me, bro, and when he hit it, I was like, whoa. This made me shift my perspective, right? He said, are you acting like a slave or are we acting like a servant? What are you doing? He said, when you're at your place of work and you don't want to be there, and it's heavy, are you acting like a slave? Like you for them, or are you reacting like a servant? What are you doing? Okay, God, well, since you put it that way, I guess I'm. You put it that way.
You want some brownies or something? I can bake.
There you go.
What you want, Lord? You want some milk with it?
Yeah, there you go. You know what I'm saying?
You gonna need a napkin also to wipe that milk mustache off your upper lip.
You're reacting like a servant. Yeah, you don't like the crap, but when you're acting like a servant, you're looking beyond them, and He's giving you the extra gird that you need while you're getting ready to move to your next destination. So, but if you're acting like a slave, everything that they say and do was gonna be, I can't. But if you're acting like a, you know what? Let me let me look beyond. Let me look deeper in this right here. But God, you know, your time is ticking. But let me go ahead and do this thing. So he said, "Are you acting like a slave, or are you reacting like a servant?"
And,
That's good.
and I'm gonna share this with you. Pastor had to go preach this week to Pastor Anglin's appreciation. And boy, that joker walked with a heavy walk, boy. Ooh, that apostolic hit for real.
Jesus.
And I even got something from a leadership standpoint, because that's who he really was talking to, leaders. Dang. And it goes behind what you were saying, because there were some things that I was frustrated about. There were some things that I had a right to be frustrated about. But at the end of the day, is that how God want me to handle it? So it's like, until your shift comes, can you do and serve like you're supposed to?
Right.
No. I'm talking about no complaining, even though you got a right to complain.
Right.
Right.
No, it's depth to it.
No complaining.
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? No
yeah.
complaining. Yeah. Just doing what you know that needs to be done, even when you know somebody else should have been doing that. Because the moment we get frustrated and the moment we get mad, we walk back into that space where that's not how God wants us to handle that. That's a hard place to walk, but when he was preaching, that's all that was coming. And I was like, you know what, God, I apologize. I'm sorry. I'm gonna do better. I'm gonna tighten up on that. Because sometimes what happens is you're waiting on that release, but he's waiting on you to check that attitude at the door. Because I know you're frustrated, but I want you to handle that just a little bit better. So now what happens is, if I have to pull back, I'm going to pull back to reassess and not to pull back to cause damage.
Exactly. Because you still want to leave off of good terms when that shift comes, or whenever, that happens. You still want to be able to be in right standings in general. You know what I'm saying?
Good terms, but for me personally, where I'm talking about is purpose terms.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know
from a
saying.
natural standpoint, it's good term. That's the natural, because you want to leave. But from a spiritual standpoint, because
you want to leave polished.
You want to leave,
right?
Yeah,
well, that's what I mean.
Good stuff.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I mean.
You want God to put that stamp on, like, good job, son.
Right.
That's what I was waiting on.
Yeah.
Now you can go.
Now you can go, because where you going next?
You see what I'm saying?
Now you're built a certain type of way.
Yeah.
Now,
exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Because if you go, you're not ready yet, because
you're gonna take that pressure into the next atmosphere.
Right. And you could be the person who could be over other people, or around other people who have to train them. Look, don't look at it that way.
Yep.
You could be that person to bring them deliverance and freedom.
And
so
I've been in that position 1,000 times.
So you want to leave polished. It's not about good. Who cares about good standards? I don't want to come back here anyway. This is easier.
Well, no, not from the point of the job per se, but more so making sure you're in right standings when you're trying to shift to your purpose, or when you go in that you don't want anything.
Yeah.
Basically that being polished.
Being polished. Yeah. For sure.
Which is what he was saying, because that's what he's saying when I was talking about being in a purpose, more so a purpose standpoint. Because like I said, I've been in that place 1,000 times, especially being in leadership. And and then being an entrepreneur is, you find yourself in the same place. I find myself I would be at my breaking point. It's like, okay, because you can make, you made decent this week, and then next week you trying to figure out where the next check coming from. You know what I'm saying? So then it's like, what thing do I need to go back? Do I need to do this? And it's like every time I would find myself in a place of thinking about going back, God would send a word, and it would frustrate. Even the word would frustrate me.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, if he spoke to me, it was the same word. If Pastor said something, it was the same word. As Pastor Lynn said, it was this. No matter where the word came from, it was the same word whenever it came.
Right.
And guess what the words were?
I can't even think right now.
Keep going.
Well, those words be like,
You know what I'm saying? I'm like,
like,
come
what?
on, man. And it was one particular time I had just had a particular conversation with Isha. And I was so frustrated with where things were going business wise and stuff. It was just I was about ready to if I had hair, I wouldn't have had none. I'd have pulled it all out. It was one of those really, really, really frustrating weeks. And I was in the bathroom, and God said, "Oh, I think I shared this with you, Doug. I think because Isha was sharing with me an experience that she had where God was dealing with her about we don't employ the Holy Spirit enough, so we be doing stuff without the Holy Spirit.
Right, yeah.
And so she because I think she heard a sermon about it, so she was sharing it with me. And I said, you know what, God, dog? I said, you be moving so fast, you right. I said, you right, because God is God, but He gave us the Holy Spirit as the go between to help us on this side.
Right. Yeah.
I said, God, dog, I'm going to try it because boy, I was frustrated. I said, man, well, Holy Spirit, you know what? I'm trying to do this. I feel like I'm supposed to do this, but I'm not seeing what I need to see to keep going. I say, man, I'm frustrated. Like, man, like I need, I'm free to pull what my wife told me to work like right now. And I said, man, what do I need to do? I said, Holy Spirit, what do I need to do? And in the center of my stomach, it's like I heard these words echo, keep going. When Pastor would bring me up, I would be at that place. He would say, it would be along the same. Anybody that, and it wasn't just pastors that would be in those times. It would be other people. And that's all they would say is like, you're in the right place, just keep going. But it's a dry place. You want me to keep going in the dry? Okay, God.
Dry and uncomfortable.
Straight wilderness, desert.
Straight in a wheel like that. And I'm talking wild as in wilderness.
Yeah.
Next lake, 20 miles that way.
Yeah.
That type of stuff.
But you know what? You know what? When
ain't even no sign. It's just
Keep going.
like I can't get a sign. Right. Give me some green on there.
oh, you got the sign. Keep going.
What?
I'm gonna spin the block. So that was great.
Yeah, that was real good.
That was great. So do you think that? And I understand hearing that same word, keep going, right?
Yeah.
But I noticed you would get more frustrated. Do you think it also ties to your reaction of when somebody say keeps going?
Yeah. I would
Because sometimes, do you think that sometimes if we have the right attitude and posture, okay, God, I'm going to keep going. I don't like it, but I'm going to keep going. and being vulnerable in that moment. It's getting to a point to where like I have to PTO for some days and
bro,
just
PTO it out and then
just
go back in there super
and then too,
because I'm catching myself before I,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, and I don't want to do that.
yeah.
So if I'm just glad I can catch it here, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Before I have to go back and apologize.
We don't need another clear mind.
Yeah.
Be coming in like you.
For real.
Punching out.
You stupid. You stupid.
But yeah, it's man.
Yeah.
That was really good because that's
Bro,
that's the third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth win I need.
Drop that on me. He said, "Are you acting like a slave? Are you acting an actor? They give him a script. This is what I need you to do.
Yeah,
That's what slaves do.
Right.
Facts.
Or are you reacting like a slave? Because when you react to something, you hold that after they make their move, the person who got the power is the person who waiting on what you're gonna do now. That's who got the power. You dig what I'm saying? So are you acting like a slave or are you reacting like a servant? All the servants get direct access to everything.
That's good.
That's really good.
like the house slaves are like the quote unquote the house slaves / servants. They in the house with the cookies. They can sneak a little extra peanut butter or something. The slaves in the back with the dogs and the pigs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When you at church, when you the people, look, okay, don't come from my head, y'all. I'm just saying, when you do serve in church, no matter what, it don't matter what size the ministry is. When you do extra in the house, that's like an offering. You receive from that. You be around certain type of people. You might get a blessing from throughout the week. You might get a prayer answer because you doing extra in the house. So when I'm backstage and I see Pastor Jeff, you know how many times Pastor Tim came and prayed on me out of the blue? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what him and God was talking about. He speaking in his language. I ain't trying to figure out what it is. I preach. Let's go.
The Lord knows. The Lord knows.
Let's go. You know what I'm saying? So, but that comes from when you being the servant. So are you? He was like, are you acting like a slave, son, or are you reacting like a servant? What are you doing? Because I know what I'm doing. You don't know what I'm doing, but what are you doing? And they don't care what you're doing. And they don't care what I'm doing. Because their function is their function. But their organization is not why I created you. And their organization is not bigger than me. So are you acting like a slave or are you reacting like a servant? What are you doing?
Right.
You choose what you're gonna do.
Right.
Okay, God.
That part.
Right.
Okay, God. Right.
Right. That's how I be. That's how I be.
No.
I was in a broke. All type of
That's how. That's exactly how it be.
So
real.
My encouragement to you, take a woosah.
Yeah.
Excuse my language.
Detach.
Bump the job. That's a multi-million-dollar company. PTO. If you're not there, they'll figure it out. They got billions and millions. They'll figure it out. Take your woosah.
Yeah.
And then come back on super servant mode.
And then too, I'll add that in your which you could already be doing this, because we haven't talked about it. But I would just ask God to give you a strategy.
Oh yeah, I've been on it.
Yeah,
I've been
just
praying and asking about a exit strategy.
Yeah, and not just an exit strategy.
I'm
just while you're there, what's the strategy to release the weight not only from you but the other people that's feeling the way that you're feeling? Because you're still there until he gives you the exit strategy.
That's next level.
So I'm not talking about exit strategy. I'm talking about the strategy on how can I function while I'm here until you give me my exit strategy.
Like how can I be more of an asset? Wow, that's
bro.
Next
You see what I'm saying? Because what happens
is
you shared with us that it was another person that was in your shoes because y'all too was like y'all doing the bulk of the work.
Yeah.
So what I was saying is ask God to give you a strategy to handle that whole situation while you're there. So then that can take the weight off her. You be like, hey, I got an idea. What you think about this?
Bro, that's
boom, 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 boom. But then that's gonna release you. Because see what happens is we get so caught up in our own world and we forget about we're not here to serve ourselves, we're here to serve other people. Right. Your gift doesn't serve you. Nope. It blesses you, but it serves others. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I just add on to back to what Russ said.
That's good.
That's next level when you when you asking God, I don't want to be here, but show me how to be a better asset to a place where I don't like.
True, Jesus, boy, you just said a bar. That's next level stuff. It really is.
Joseph, God, I don't like being in prison, but show me how to serve everybody in this prison.
That part.
Yo, perfect story.
That part.
Perfect story. I'm in prison, but I own the best thing since sliced bread. You got a dream? Let me tell you what that means.
Show me how to turn a prison to the hotel.
Yeah. Who wants to? Hey, remember me? You know what I'm saying? Remember me.
So, I say that because humbly and openly, and I speak blessings over your life, dog, because I be there every other day. So, I almost walked out 2 days ago. You know what I'm saying?
Boy, hey, and don't each time the walk off strong, it be like, man, you already thinking in your head. The last day is
bro, the walk off game, bro. I be by the toss the best.
You already got thought process of how it's gonna pan out.
The words he want to say.
You ever seen when old boy threw that shoe at President George Bush?
Oh yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
You stupid. You stupid.
That joke was funny, dog.
I almost took the badge. It was like, for real. I hope it hit you in the chin, man. It hit you in the chin.
Oops, my bad.
Oh man, but that's why I can say that, bro.
But that's good stuff, man. Oh. And I hope that helps y'all out too, man, because it definitely surely helped me. Cause listen, that's them close calls.
Yeah, but God dropped that on me. He was like,
God.
He said, are you acting like a slave? And because back in the day they had slaves.
Yeah.
But it was different levels. Some of them were actually prominent and.
Yeah, some of them was in the house.
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Became servants. So he was like, are you acting like a slave or are you reacting like a servant?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So cause I'm there every day, bro.
Good,
you know, I'm on the paint with you. Me and you work at one of the same jobs. So I already know, bro. That's why I say that, bro.
Definitely.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's good.
That's what's up. Well, man, hey, man, it's been another fine one, man. We're going to get out y'all hair, man. But, man, I hope y'all enjoyed this as much as we have. Cause, man, y'all see this is...
Yes, sir.
This is who we are, even outside of the out of the the limelight and stuff. This is how we act, man. This is why we so close knit like we are. So, but man, we hope y'all got something out of it, man. Hey, man, once again, we thank y'all. We appreciate y'all's support. Keep looking out. Keep looking out. Dub's still doing this thing, man. He got some couple shows coming up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. And Alexndr, he got some more music he's going to be dropping.
Yeah.
I got some more projects I'm going to be dropping, and I'll, be in and out of different places and whatnot. So, man, we moving, man. So we moving, just trying to impact and use the gift that God gave us into every capacity that we can. So we hoping in prayer, and y'all got somebody tonight, man. Once again, leave comments. We read the comments, the messages and things. So we appreciate it. Even the constructive criticism. So we appreciate that as well. So that's how we learn. That's how we get better. That's how we grow. So with that, man, we're gonna leave y'all out here. And just remember, man, unplug, take the time to detach, get away from the noise to get clarity and where you want to go with the direction, not only for your life, but what God has for you for your life. And so once again, we'll see you at the top because the bottom is way too crowded. And if you think different and be different, you have the opportunity to live different. And once again, we'll see you on the other side of success. God bless. We'll see you next week. Peace.
Peace.
Yes, sir.